And we're ready to start. Hit your chairs if you're not there yet. Moving the microphone close to the chair so that you can hear me. And let's come to seated position on our chairs. And we're starting with this position that is the very foundation of this class. That's where we start, that's where we finish, and a lot of the exercises that we do in between are done right in this position. And this position is sitting at the very edge of your chair, like to the point that almost you feel that if you were to tilt your hips just a little bit more, you would be sliding off the chair. That's how much to the edge you need to be. And when you are at that edge of the chair, that forces you in a way to have the hips tilting forward a little bit instead of rounding back, and that's what we want. So give that freedom to the spine to have its own alignment and most beneficial alignment, and still being supported by the sit bones grounding on the chair. Then you have your legs positioned hip distance apart, feet are parallel, no toes out, no toes in, so that the knees, as you can see, if my toes are out, my knees are out of the alignment of the hips. If my toes are in, my knees again are out of the alignment of the hips. So you want to have hips, knees, and feet in the same line, in the same position. Also, to be able to spread the weight of the body more efficiently, to have a better, more sturdy, more stable support through your feet, because this is the foundation of any kind of movement. You have to consider whichever part of your body is in contact with the floor or a surface that allows you to stabilize, to push away from, to fight gravity from, and find your balance. This is your access to rooting, to grounding, and to therefore giving the rest of the body the ability not only to be stable and balanced, but to have the impulse to push away from it and create movement. So to do that, when we're sitting, the access that we have to the floor are the feet, and we want to make sure that the surface of the feet is fully supportive of the rest of the body. If you bring your feet in, so I'm going to open the leg to the side. Imagine that I'm sitting sideways completely. If I bring the feet in, and you can try it for yourself here, slide your feet towards your chair and under a little bit, you'll feel that the weight is mostly toward the front of the foot, toward the toes and the base of the toes. And it becomes lighter on the heels to the point that if you really squeeze them back, your heel lifts. So here, the weight is not well spread. It's using just one part of the surface of the feet. If I'm sliding the foot out further away, now I'm starting feeling more weight on my heel, and therefore the spreading of the weight again goes to one portion of the foot only. Whereas if I bring it right in between where the shin bone is perpendicular to the floor, that's a 90-degree angle, my weight is fully distributed all around the foot, from the inner foot to the outer foot, from the base of the toes to the back of the heel. And that's what we're looking forward to. So all this being said, hopefully you found your neutral position here. Let's relax the hands on top of the thigh. Find the right distance depending on the length of your arms along the legs that allow the elbows to drop, the shoulders to drop. There's still space between the body and the arm. You're not squeezing in and restricting in. You're breathing in this space between elbows and torso. And then move your head a little bit, maybe a few times forward and back, kind of chin out and chin in. Notice when you tuck the chin out, when you pull the chin out, how much you can feel on your neck here, how much tension is created by this movement onto the neck and the base of the neck. Whereas when you pull it in, now there's a softening and there's a natural stacking of the vertebrae of the cervical spine that allows the head to feel a lot more floaty and at ease, so that it becomes the cherry on top instead of really hard work to sustain your head on top of the body. Here you can tell me sitting sideways that when, again, I'm at the edge of the chair and there's a slight tilt of the hips forward, there's also a slight curve on the low back, which is ideally the same kind of curve you have when we're extending up. That's your natural curve, your lumbar spine. And when you're in this position, there's less probability that you're going to round the upper body and stick the chin out. So you want to find that alignment from the feet sturdily pressing down, the legs being supported, then you have the support of the chair with the sit bones, and from here the torso can align itself all the way to the shoulders, ears on top of the shoulders, shoulders on top of the hips. And this kind of alignment really allows the back to relax, allows the front to soften, and allow the bones to come in alignment with on their own, and supporting the muscular frame of the body a lot easier with least effort. So all this in, close your eyes. Now you don't need to watch me anymore. And we're going to take several breaths in this new position. For some of you, it might be brand new if you're new to the skull. For the rest of you, is just remembering, is a coming home. We're trying to come home in our body as much as we can throughout our days, and drop from the head space into the body space. And that's what we call mindful movement. Mindful movement is not led by the brain, is not a thought, is not something you imagine. It's an experience in your own body. And the big ingredient of this experience is connecting to your breath. So start breathing, again, reminding you to try to breathe through your nose. Start breathing in and out through your nose, taking the time to really follow the breath into the body without rushing. It's not a forceful breath. Let the breath just do its work. It knows what to do when it's given the opportunity to do it, when there's no restrictions, when the body is open and aligned to receive the breath. And therefore, in this position, the breath has a different quality, a different taste than when you're rounding and collapsing and closing your shoulders forward. Here, the lungs have the ability to expand to their full capacity. So progressively, through the several rounds of breath, as we start this practice this morning, enjoy that the breath hopefully is broadening, deepening, its quality is being enhanced. And you feel also in the quality of the breath, maybe the polarity between a sense of lightness and expansion, and your spine might feel taller when you inhale, versus a deeper sense of grounding and weight and softening and maybe slight compression down towards the floor as you breathe out. Take a couple more breaths here, 2 or 3 breaths on your own, finding your own breathing pattern, its depth, its rhythm. And gently open your eyes, and we're going to start kicking right in with broader range of motion, where we go forward with the right arm and we sweep it and we open back, and then we swim forward with the left arm, sweep it, swing it back and right. So you can start narrow, just the arm, if your spine is a little achy and stiff. And then progressively you try to really reach, you use your opposite hand to press into the leg and reach forward before you open and swing back. And imagine that you're going into the water, like the surface of the water would be here, and you're diving, sliding your hand in the water and lifting it up and away and back. And maybe that also a sense of splashing yourself with cool water, especially if you're in Dallas right now, it's super hot. So get that sensation that is fluid, is flowy, it's cooling. You're opening, you're stretching, you're breathing into the movement. And expand out and up. And now follow with your head. Go a little slower as you go back. And gaze at your fingers. Rotating your head to follow the movement of the arm. See if it's natural for you to inhale as you dive forward and exhale as you swing back. Or see if you have any other breath pattern, what feels right to you. But make sure you're breathing. If you have your computer on a table in front of you, make sure that you're not too close to the table. Replace your chair if you need more space in front of you to do that deep dive forward. 2 more, 1 on each side. Inhale, exhale, and pause and breathe. Take a few breaths here, in and out. Feel already what has started shifting and moving in your body. You have probably a different sense of how your body feels. And we're gonna go, so we were doing into an outer rotation of the shoulders. We're gonna go into an inner rotation. You slide slightly your elbow back, open to the side and forward. Left arm, right. And you might be mirroring me. So maybe when I'm rotating the right arm, if you're mirroring me, you're rotating your left arm. So it doesn't really matter, but make sure that you're doing obviously both sides. Use your whole torso. So you could go very like tiny and shy here, where your torso is locked, but try to open from the shoulder back and then move it forward and feel the stretch on the side of the body. Couple more. And last. And relax back to center. Take a breath here, inhaling and exhaling. And let's go sideways, right arm up and across, bend the elbow and back to center. Left arm, stretching the side body. Now notice your feet and notice which foot is preventing you from tilting too far out to the side. Which foot is helping you to come back up so that the whole effort is not coming from the torso, that you're using your whole body to support the movement of the torso from side to side. Keep your sit bones grounded. I'm inhaling when I'm coming back to center and exhaling when I'm tilting to the side. Few more. One more on each side. And back to center, back to neutral. Bringing your hands together, clasp the fingers, rotate your palms out, stretch them right in front of your chest. Inhale, bring them in. Lift your chest a little prouder. Exhale, press the hands forward, straight arms. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, push out. Breathe in. And out. As I'm bringing my hands to the chest, I'm squeezing the shoulder blades behind. And as I'm pressing the hands forward, I'm spreading the shoulder blades apart. Breathe in, breathe out. 2 more, breathe in, breathe out. And last one, breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to change the angle of the arms. I'm coming back so you can see my arms a little better. So hands forward, you're going to breathe in, lift up, stretch up to the ceiling. Breathe out, hands to the top of the head. Breathe in, stretch away. Breathe out, release back to the top of the head. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, rest. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out, rest. And last one, breathe in. Breathe out, rest. Stay with your hands on top of the head. The back of the hands are on top of the hand, the back of the fingers, not your palms. So if you feel a different stretch in your arms here. And we're going to gently tilt and swing the elbows from side to side. You're not going too far, just gentle and easy. Keep on breathing. Feel the stretch, or at least that's where I feel it on my forearms, my inner forearms. And slow down, releasing your hands from your head. Uncross the fingers and press your palms down. Inhale, swing the arms out and up. Palms facing down. Exhale, press down to the front of the body, down to the hip level. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, pushing down, flat palms down through the front body. Breathe in and out. You go to the own depth of breath, your own breath. So maybe you're breathing in, your arms go faster because you breathe faster, and you're breathing out and you're pushing down faster for the same reason, because you're exhaling faster than I am. So find your own depth of breath. If you're really calm, peaceful, your breath is wide, deep and whole, maybe you go super slow, inhaling, and very slow, deep exhale. Breathe in and out. Maybe your inhale goes faster than the exhale, and therefore the moving of the arms up is faster than the releasing of the arms down. And one more, breathe in and out. And land. Hands to the lap. Relax and breathe in awareness. Feel your arms, feel your shoulders, feel your breath. Feel anything that is talking to you in your body right now. Bringing the arms forward, soft bending the elbows, rotate the wrists. First with your fingers wide out, spread out, relaxed, and just flapping. And then close your thumbs, wrap your fingers around, and now is the fist rotation. It feels different on your arms. There's more action here. And then reverse the fist rotation, rotate in. And release your fingers and rotate in with your fingers free, your hands more relaxed. And release arms out to the side, shake things out from hands to elbows to shoulders. And relax, pause and breathe, come back to your neutral position. Let's go into the hips. Start rocking the hips forward and back. Rolling on your sit bones from the front of the sit bones to the back of the sit bones. I'm going to move to the side, but you stay facing forward so you can see. For some reason, if you weren't quite understanding the movement I'm engaging in, this is where we're at. Rocking from the hips. My shoulders are moving obviously a little bit, but not majorly because I'm really focusing on those hips. The pelvis, the sit bones, from waistline down. I'm using my feet to pull forward, to press back. And then I'm going to move this rocking motion from the hips into also including the mid-back. So I'm pushing the sternum forward or the lower ribs forward as I'm rocking the hips forward. And then I'm squeezing that sternum toward the back of the body, rounding into that mid to upper back. Head is still like right on top. I'm not moving my head. And then let the movement go up and include the shoulders. So now you're bringing the chest forward and rounding it back. Chest opening as you rock the hips forward and shoulder blades broadening. Front of the shoulders curling forward as you roll your hips back. And now we see a movement of the head. There's a tilting of the head from chin away as I'm rocking the hips forward, down as I'm rolling the hips back. And now I have a more firm action into the feet. I really feel the pushing, the grounding, the pulling. I'm breathing in as I'm rocking forward, and I'm breathing out as I'm rolling back. Just 2 or 3 more in this wide range of motion. And then we're going to add a little component. We're going to wave it, make rolls with the torso. So we're going forward, down, pull up, round back, and back to neutral. Rock the hips, shoulders back, come forward. Press into the hands, down into the legs to roll back and around, chin in, and back to neutral. Inhale, rock the hips, open the chest, chin away, come forward. Press and roll back, and back to neutral. Inhale, arch. Come forward, exhale. Inhale, push back. Exhale to neutral. Inhale, rock the hips forward, open the chest. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, push and roll back. And exhale, neutral. Last one. Inhale, arch. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, push back. And exhale to neutral and stay. Relaxing breath. Reposition your hands if they slid somewhere else. Bring them back to about half leg, half thigh. And relax and breathe here. Take a couple breaths in and out. And let's press into the left foot to slide your right hip back a bit and lift your right foot up. gonna start tiny rolls with that right leg, and the foot is floating above the floor. It's probably an inch, maybe slightly over an inch, but not too far up. Rotate, feel the belly engaging. One more circle, pause and land. Give a little rock to the hips. A few times, soft and easy, not the full range of motion, just a little reset here, and back to neutral. Let's go to the other side. Press down into the right foot, slide your left hip back a bit, lift your left knee up, and start rotating that left leg as you rotate the foot in circles, right above the floor, hovering. Keep the torso nice and long, engage the belly, keep on breathing. And pause and release down. Rest in breath. Give a couple of rolls to the hips forward and back to neutral. Now, either with your hands still in the same position, or you can get a little support either on the arms of your chair or the base of the chair. Press down into the left foot, slide your right hip back, lift your knee a little higher, and start circling the knee up into the air. So now, unlike when we're doing the rotation of the foot and the knee was at the same level, now we're rotating the knee, and so the foot is creating a circle forward, not across the floor. Pause and land, hands to the thigh, and rock the hips forward and back a few times. Back to center, hands on the arms of the chair or on the chair. Press down into the right foot, slide your left hip back to lift your left knee up. And let's rotate the left knee, tracing the circle forward. It doesn't have to be a huge range of motion here. Tiny bitty circles. Couple more. And land and rest, hands to the thigh, and rock the hips forward and back. And back to center, sliding your right foot out to the front, anchoring your heel. I'm gonna pull back just a little bit more to make sure you see my foot. And now we're gonna give several ankle circles. You might have heard already some cracks here. My ankle had some dryness or air trapped into the joint, and so that creates a little song, little cracking of the ankle. Nothing major. It's not like, it's like the popping. I know so many of my friends, which I could never do that. I mean, if I can pop it this way, rotating, reverse, but I know some people who pop their fingers and pull them and crack them, and I'm like, don't do this. But when I'm rotating, it naturally does its own thing. I'm not forcing it, but it does it. Couple more. And back to relaxing the foot to stillness. Now we're gonna flex the foot, toes towards you, flexing as much as you can, and then point your foot forward, draw all the way to the toes to the floor, and even give a little grip, using your toes as if you were gonna squeeze something underneath your toes on the floor. And then relax that squeeze, peel the toes up, peel the foot up and flex at the ankle, press down into the left foot, and then start lengthening that foot out, ground the ball of the foot, ground the toes, and squeeze the toes down. Relax the squeeze of the toes, curl the toes up, flex the foot, Press down into the left foot, flex the right foot as strongly as you can towards you, and then start peeling the foot away. Press the ball of the foot down, land the toes, and squeeze the toes down. Soften the toes, curl them up, curl the foot up, press into the heel to bring the toes towards you, press the left foot down, and then again extend that right foot forward, press the ball of the foot, toes down, and squeeze the toes down, and relax, toes up, flex the foot, press down into the left foot, roll your hips forward a little bit more, slide your left hand to the top of the left knee, and slide your right hand down toward the toes. Breathe here, engage your left leg really strong to stabilize and not slide off the chair, and then engage your belly a little stronger, lengthening the spine forward, and then push all together to slide your right hand along your leg back up, and sliding your right foot in, bring both feet hip distance apart again, find your neutral position here. Again, it feels good to rock the hips a few times to reset and find that everything is back into place before we start on the other side. So let's go to the other side, stretching the left foot out to the front, and start your ankle rotation in one direction first. And reverse. Keep on breathing. I'm not reminding you every single second to breathe, but with a few reminders here and there, take ownership of checking it with your breath as often as you can. Make sure you're breathing, that you're not just moving. And release the rotation of the ankle to now flex your foot towards you, toes towards you. You're not flexing the foot out, neither in. Like toes are right in alignment with your leg, all the way to the hip. And then press down to the ball of the foot. Bring your toes down and squeeze the toes down. Release the squeeze of the toes. Curl the toes up, flex the foot up. Press down into the right foot, which allow the left heel to anchor a little firmer as you pull the toes back towards you. And then again, peel off and away, bring the sole of the foot, ball of the foot, and toes down. Squeeze the toes down, press them down really, really strongly. Feel the action along your foot. And soften the toes, curl the toes up. Flex the foot, press down into the right foot, keep the spine nice and long, reach with the heel forward, feel the stretch to the back of the leg. And again, opposite direction, lower your foot down, toes down, squeeze the toes to the ground. Curl your toes up, flex the foot up. Press down into the right foot, anchor the left heel, slide the left heel forward a little bit more, toes towards you, nice long spine. And peel the toes down, the foot down, toes down, squeeze the floor. Relax your toes, curl them up, flex the foot up. And stay. Slide your right hand on top of the right knee. Slide your left hand along the left leg. Press down into the right foot. Roll your hips forward, sit bones back, and breathe. Press down into the floor. Squeeze your belly and slide back up. Slide your left foot back in. Come back to neutral, hands to knees, shake your knees out. allowing your feet to roll from the inner edges of the feet to the outer edges. A few more. And relax and release. Find back your neutral position. Let's go in the total opposite direction of the feet. We're going to go into the head and neck. So we're going to start gently tilting the head from side to side. And we're going to add a little action here to create more awareness in the relationship between the neck and the foot. So you're going to tilt your head to the left and press into the right foot. And then tilt your head across to the right and press into the left foot. Tilt your head out across to the left and press into the right foot. Slowly, head goes out to the right, press into the left foot. So you're pressing on down into the opposite foot of where the head is tilting. So when the head is tilting to the right, you're pressing into the left foot. When your head is tilting to the left, you're pressing into the right foot. And go nice and easy, go slow in transitioning from side to side. My natural breathing here, I'm exhaling as my head is tilting to one side and I'm pressing on a foot. I'm inhaling as I'm transitioning to go to the other side. And now we're going to add one more component. So you're tilting the head, you're pressing in the foot, and we're going to release the arms to the side. And now you're going to tilt also the shoulder to the same side than the head. Press into the left foot as you drop your right arm, shoulder, and head. Don't go too far down, just creating some length and stretch as we press down in one foot and tilt in the opposite side, shoulders and head. And let's do a couple more, one on each side. Pressing into the left foot to tilt to the right. Come back up, press into the right foot to tilt to the left. And back to center, hands rest on top of the lap. Give a few hip rolls forward and back. And back to center. Now, I'm going to go sideways to show you the move because it will be easier for you to see it sideways, but you stay in the front. You're going to bring your left hand to the back of the hand to the outside of the right leg. Make sure your legs are grounded, that you're not letting them flip in or out, pressing evenly to the feet. And then you're going to slide that left hand towards the side of the low leg and see how far you can go. So your arm is pressing against the leg naturally because you're twist here, and your leg is pressing into the arm, and then you slide back up to back of the hand to the side of the knee. And make sure you come back all the way back to totally up, that you're not rounding forward. And then again, you're going to slide that arm along the leg. Make sure the leg stays steady and see how far you can go. And you're using the right hand. I'm using my right hand to press against the thighs to slide the arm along the leg back up. Inhale. Exhale, slide and twist. Maybe you're able to go a little lower, maybe not. So here, that's one of those exercises you want to honor your body and make sure you're not going past your edge. So maybe you're really tight and your sliding goes just here to mid forearm. And that's the point where you're going to come back up and shoulders back to center. If your twist is nice and fluid, maybe you go down to the elbow. And then you push back up. And come back to neutral, keeping your hand here, but your shoulders are rotating forward again. And then if you're still very comfortable, when you reach to the elbow, maybe you go past the elbow to the upper arm. You're pressing down in your legs, into your right hand, and you come back up. And release. Let's come back to center. Here to reset from what we just did, you're going to do a little swimming of the shoulders. You're going to roll one shoulder forward as the other one rolls back. Loosen up. And let's go to the other side. I'll show the first moves facing forward, and then I'll go sideways because probably it's easier to see it sideways. Right hand goes across to the outside of the left leg, back of the hand to the back to the side of the leg, not the palm, the back of the hand. The palm is facing out. Left hand is on top of the left thigh, a little higher than the midpoint, so that you have a good grip here, right at the base of the hip, pressing down into your thigh. And you're gonna start sliding out and down, and slide back up. Inhale here. Exhale, slide, and again, you go progressively. So maybe that's your stretch here. This is your mat. You're pressing down in your feet, pressing down in the left hand. Pull yourself back up. And exhale, slide again. Maybe you're able to go a little deeper, maybe not, and that's okay. Maybe your deep, deep stretch is right here, and that's your own stretch. That's your own body. That's the depth of it. And it's completely cool. You're still getting the stretch here. So I'm offering different levels here because some of us, it's not my case actually, but some of you might not hold as much tension in the shoulders. Maybe they're hoarding their tension somewhere else, and maybe they're able to go really far down because there's no resistance. So you have to see for yourself and your own body where the resistance is. And if the resistance starts right here, maybe you can go a little bit into the resistance, but for sure you don't want to try to really force into going further down. It should be an easy move, an easy slide forward and down and across. You feel the opening in the back of the right shoulder here. You press down into the feet and then you slide back up. Back to that neutral point, and then let's do it 2 more times. Slide out and down, and back up. Hand is still in connection with the outside of the leg. Last one, slide down, keep your legs engaged. And push back up. And release back to center. And again, roll the shoulders, one shoulder at a time, forward and back. Back to center, arms like ballerinas in front of you, kind of a circle shape. And relax the fingers. You can wiggle them to make sure you're not tensing up like, oh, strong arm. No, soften. Everything is soft. And then we're going to go into, again, a little twist here, where now you can maybe swing your arms a little further across, but try to bring the torso along so that you don't get into just doing this. There's a difference between here, where my chest is still facing forward and my arms only are moving, to now the chest and the shoulders are leading the way and the arms are just following. And you can add a little bit more, like the arms can swing a little further than the torso is, but just a tiny bit to help get a momentum here. 2 more. And back to center. Shake your arms out to the side and down. And relax. Open the toes out. Open the heels out. Open the toes out. Find the right position here. Remember, the toes align with the knees, align with the hip. No toes in with the knees out, or no toes out with the knees in. And for that, it really helped to actually see, to make sure you look over knee to foot and knee to foot. And come back to center. Inhale, arms up, ballerina arms, like round, like the same way we were doing forward here. We're gonna do it up here. And you're gonna rotate out, swing across, and bring back up. Pause, go to the other side. Swing out, across, pressing in your feet, come back up, and relax. Inhale, exhale across, and back up. Inhale, exhale across to the left, and to the right, and back up. Inhale, exhale, swing across, and back up. Inhale, exhale to the left, swing across, and back to center. Last one, inhale, and swing, and across, and back to center. And from here, you're gonna open the arms out, bend the elbows. See how far down you can bring the elbows, opening the front of the shoulders, and then soften back up and close up. And then open out, broaden, elbows bend, squeeze them to the side of the body, and soften back up. Exhale out. Inhale up. Last two. Exhale out. Inhale up. And last one. Exhale out. Lift the chest up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbows together. And relax. Hands to the top of the knees. Shift forward. So we're rocking the hips forward. You're dropping the belly. And we're going to give a little twist of the shoulders forward. High twist. Next time you're twisting out to the left, stay here. Press down into your right hand, pull and stretch, and really find that stretch in your back. You're going to tilt your head over the left shoulder. Feel also the stretch into the right side of the neck. Breathe. And then bring everything back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Tilt the left shoulder, roll it in and out across to the left, to the right. Make sure everything is nice and long. You're not rounding in. You're keeping the length and the reach. And then you tilt your head out to the right shoulder. And breathe. Slowly come back to center. Toes in, heels in, toes in. Bring your feet back to parallel. Make sure they're in that alignment. Hands to the knees. Roll the hips forward. Squeeze the pelvis. Squeeze the belly in. Press down into your feet and lift up. I'm going to tilt the computer so you can see me fuller when I'm standing. And we're going to get to the back of the chairs. Hands on top of the back of the chair here. And feet hip distance apart. You're getting into the same position you were in when you were sitting. Allow the low back to find its natural curve. So that means that the shoulders are coming right on top of the hips, right on top of the feet. If you're here, it's not going to happen. So press into the feet, lift up, open the chest, chin slightly in, ears on top of the shoulders. Relax your hands on the chair, drop the elbows, which allow the shoulders to drop. And take a few breaths here, or see if you can lift your toes up and feel the activation of your feet in a different way here. Maybe your toes are not going to lift all the way up, maybe slightly they lift, but you still feel the inner arches lifting. You feel how across the base of the toes, the ball of the feet, feel the activation there. Feel the activation of pressing down into the heel a little heavier. And relax the toes down. And now we're going to bend one knee at a time and get into a little jog. So start nice and easy, bending one knee at a time. Here I'm going to face you so you can see from a different angle. I'm bending one knee at a time. And the opposite leg is stretching back, not all the way to locking. And then you see that my hips are going from side to side. It's not like straight forward. You allow your hips to follow in this movement here. And then you go a little faster. Keep your knees loose. You don't lock them back all the way, and you go a little faster. And now you add, if you want, lifting the heels. So it's not just the bending of the knee, it's also lifting the heels. Up and down, one heel at a time, and that's where you find your little jog here. Keep on going. If this is too challenging for you, lifting the heels up, if it hurts your knees, if it hurts your hips, whatever it hurts, so it feels really, really uncomfortable, you're not there yet, go down to heels down and just bending the knees and swinging the hips from side to side. So find your own degree, find your own level here. Doesn't mean that it's superior level versus, oh, I'm so weak. It's just finding out what your body needs today. And it's still, whichever version you're doing, you're still activating blood flow, you're still speeding up a little bit your heart rate. And because all this is going on, things are speeding up and getting more activated, make sure you're breathing here. Breathe deep and long, not a choppy, like doggy breath. It's really going deep, deep into the belly breathing. You inhale and you exhale. And find that deep breath that is very calming, grounding for the body, so the body can get into this agitated state without freaking out. It's very supportive of getting the oxygen in and keeping the rest of the body completely relaxed. And the madness of movement is just coming from the legs. Let's keep on doing it just a little bit more. Several of you might be already like, oh my gosh, when are you gonna stop because my calves are hurting and screaming at me. Then if that's the case and you were lifting the heels, just go a little slower, more into the stretchy side of it, but keep on moving. Just a few more here, getting things revved up. And slow down if you were going really fast in your jog. And going to stretch one side at a time. Shifting from foot to foot, hip to hip. And stay into flexing and bending one knee and flexing all the way to the toes, the right foot, and your left leg is straight, and you press down into the ball of the right foot. Lifting heel and pressing the front of the ankle forward. And then drop it down and shift. Lift your left heel up, press into the ball of the left foot. Front of the foot pushing forward. Stretching into the right leg. Straight leg. And breathe. Deep, long breath. And release your left heel down. Gonna come forward. Hopefully all of you have to some degree, a pretty steady upper back of the chair. Hopefully none of you have a chair low here. That would be unusual, but so we're gonna bring the forearms and the elbows. So not straight the elbow, that's not comfortable, just a little higher on the forearm so you can relax your arms here. You're gonna step back a little bit, like about a step or a step and a half, and sit bones back, nice back and long. You're gonna rest here for a bit, allowing, see my mid spine is sinking in. And that feels like a stretch on the belly. You're not rounding in here. You're dropping the belly down, the sit bones are lifting up, so you have an accentuated curve in the low back. One more breath here. And then from here, you're gonna bring your hands to the chair, walk your feet back a little bit more and find your back stretch. Hands or wrist onto the chair, stretch back, bend the knees as much as you need. Keep your ears in alignment with your arms. Pull the sit bones and tailbone up and breathe. Deep, long breath. You're gonna press up a bit. Keep your right hand on top of the chair and release your left arm down and look underneath your right armpit. And push into your right hand, lift up. Bring your left hand to your chair and then go back into your back stretch. Stretch both arms. Press up, lift the back of the shoulders a bit, the head. You can look at me before you get in the stretch to see what I'm doing, but once you're in your stretch, don't look up. So from here, I'm releasing that right arm and I'm stretching here. I'm turning my head underneath the left armpit. Pressing back up, bring both hands to the chair. Last back stretch, reach back. And push up, press from your feet, walk forward. Stay a little away from the chair, maybe step back a little bit, arms to the side of the chair, and we're gonna swing, gentle, easy from side to side. If you need more room here, you can step away from the chair even further. Facing you, so you can see differently. You're swinging from side to side. Back to center, giving a little shake. We did that last time. You bend the knees. So the shake comes from the feet and knees. You're kind of shaking from the knees in a slight bend and kind of a bouncing bend. And therefore your arms are shaking, the shoulders are shaking, the belly is shaking. Your head eventually gets loose and shakes also. Shake your booties. Shake your chest. You feel the shake on your shoulders. Everything is shaking. You keep your feet in position. You're not moving your feet around. You're not bouncing. You're keeping your feet grounded. And it's just a rapid, short bending and releasing of the knees that creates this bouncy shaking all over the body. You can even close your eyes if that feels comfortable, if you don't lose your balance here, so that you can tap in and really focus on your shakings, on the quality of your shaking in your own body. And slow down, less shaky. Open your eyes if they're closed. Stay still in standing position here just for a breath or two. And let's go back to sitting on our chairs. Come to the edge of the chair again. Find your neutral position. And gently relax your eyes to shut. And that's where we started. That's where we're closing. Feel your body. Acknowledge whatever is going on in your body right now. Feel and acknowledge your breath. Relax in deeper presence with yourself. Feel the chair, feel the floor, feel the room around you, even with your eyes closed. You can sense objects around, pieces of furniture, sounds, flow of the air if you have a ceiling fan in the room you're in. Feel the coolness of the air. Probably most of you that are not in cold countries right now, but those in Dallas, most of you may have, or must have, for sure have your AC on. And unlike me, you have your doors and windows shut. So enjoy the coolness of the air in contrast with the heat outside. Enjoy the coolness of the air in contrast with the warmth inside your body. Feel the quality of your breath, noticing that the breath in feels cooler than the breath out. And beyond all those sensations that can be very physical at body level, a little more subtle at your breathing level, and even more subtle where you can maybe spot your heartbeat somewhere in the picture. Breathe into the calming of all systems. Circulatory system, nervous system, digestion, the pulse of your heart. Relax in your body presence. And feel the different parts of your body shift from one area to the other area without me telling you where to go. Just go from the most obvious parts of your body that you're feeling right now to less obvious parts of your body, including maybe tapping into how your ears are feeling. We never ever pay attention to the physical ear. We're hearing and using the inner ear all the time. But when do you tap into feeling the outer ear, the lobes of the ears? And connect with more subtle sensations across your skin. Maybe you feel your scalp, past the hair on your scalp. And let's finish with a little belly rub first, placing your hands on your belly, on your tummy, and circling and rubbing either clockwise or counterclockwise with a gentle pressure of your hands on your belly. In the heat of the summer, some of you might experience acidic stomach, acid reflux, bloatedness, indigestion, all those things. When there's a lot of heat in the environment, it can bother your digestion. So give it a rub. Feel if there's any sensitivity around the belly, into the guts or into the stomach and small intestine. You can press even deeper in, massaging your inner organs. And then let's switch the hands to the chest, and let's place one hand on top of the other one. It can be the right hand first or the left hand first, and stack them right on top of the chest. And then press gently into the chest, and again, rub and circle around. Now you're gliding and moving skin and flesh on top of the rib cage, softening in. Beyond the rib cage is the cave of the heart. So imagine that you're just hugging and rubbing your heart. You've been having some heartache, and not talking specifically of the physical heart, but emotional heart. There's a lot to be aching off. So give it a gentle, warm, loving rub here, softening the achiness. And then bring your hands to cup your eyes. Press gently into the eyes, like specifically base of the fingers, press gently into the eyebrows, and the base of the palms might be pressing gently onto your cheekbone. And then see if you can give a little rotation. This time you're rolling your hands in toward each other, pressing and rolling a little bit, rubbing around your eyes and feeling the rub throughout your face as you're moving things around by rotating around the eyes. And stop the rubbing just to simply relax your hands on top of the eyes. Relax the eyes behind your hands. Breathe into the relaxing of the eyes. And when you're ready, you may start releasing your hands down and slow, progressively opening your eyes back. Finding the space we started with the eyes open in this neutral position, and take a last breath here, feeling your whole body at once. And we're ready to kickstart our week. I'm coming to you. I'm gonna unlock your microphones. You can turn your cameras on. Nice. So now you should be able to unlock your microphones